And oh, there he is. Well, this is an interesting way to get things started.
It is.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Doing all right. Well, it's funny you jump in on the camera here, Alan, because we are officially live. So hello there. Greetings and
Oh,
salutations, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to a very special presentation of HWS Web TV here for you. My name is Ryan. I am the host and producer of the interview series at Neuroculture, and we are going to be talking about the trailer that just dropped today on this January bright, sunny day, known as Godzilla versus Kong. Do I really need to describe what the plot is? I hope not. But joining us is Brian, the host of Reels and Heels. Brian, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? I just gotta say, aloha, Alan. How you doing?
aloha. I'm doing great. I'm trying to get out of the rain. I'm in my car. I tried to get over by Waikiki Beach area to give a shot for the people, but it's raining currently. So I'm, going to sit in the car till it maybe clears up a little bit.
Yeah, well, Hawaii is just like Florida. Just wait 5 minutes and the rain is gone.
Exactly.
That's one way of looking at it. And join us, as he pointed out, from the lovely space known as Hawaii. Aloha, Alan. How are you today, good sir?
I am really great. It's kind of interesting that we're talking about this trailer because where I work, where they filmed some of it, we'll talk a little bit about that. What scenes that were in the trailer that I know where they filmed and what location. So this will be interesting, and especially to hear you guys' viewpoints on this too.
Yes, absolutely. So this is how we're going to do it. We're going to share our thoughts about the trailer, what we think is going to happen, and then and by the way, if anyone has any thoughts about this trailer as we are discussing it, feel free to leave those thoughts in the live chat, in the comments section below during the live, or if you're watching the replay on our YouTube channel, feel free to leave us your thoughts in the comments section below as we go along. So I gotta tell you, I'll start this thing off because this trailer, I've watched it 3 times before we came to the studio today to go live for this presentation. I gotta tell you, I enjoyed it because as soon as certain scenes occurred and certain characters saw each other for the first time and were doing a knockdown, drag-out match by punching each other in the face, tails were being swung, weapons were being used from different environments of all across the globe, and people were saying, well, what's going on here? Why are these two fighting? Who bows to whom? Well, this character bows to no one. Well, that is going to be awesome sauce when this thing drops. But those were some of my favorite parts of the trailer. And also, I think the music they chose to go with the tone of the trailer as kind of a fight song, kind of like a Rocky kind of thing. I liked it. I enjoyed the heck out of it. There are a few things I'm a little wondrous about, like how does this work? How does this character connect to Kong? How does this instance happen with this character? How does this happen with that character? But you know what? As soon as we see the movie and understand those certain scenes and sequences within their context, I'll have a better idea. But overall, I enjoyed this trailer. It was fun. It was 2 giant behemoths laying the smackdown on each other on a boat, underwater, above ground, overseas, on continents, across lands, across landscapes. And you added some new characters to the mix. Alexander Skarsgård is in this. You got freaking Rebecca Hall is chiming in on this. Coach Taylor, a.k.a. Kyle Chandler, returns from Godzilla King of the Monsters. And you got a host of other people chiming in for good measure.
Yeah, Millie Bobby Brown is back, his daughter.
Oh, I'm not sure I saw her in this trailer, but then again, the trailer was moving so, 88 miles per hour. I saw some serious
she's in there for a second.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for pointing that out. Wasn't sure, but there you go. So I enjoyed it, but I want to go over to Reels and Heels as Brian Wenslow. Brian, what did you think of this trailer? Initial thoughts?
Well, my initial thoughts was this trailer was bonkers. Like, I loved the neon like lights. Even when the Warner Brothers logo came, like the bluish, lights going. Yeah, it was really cool. It kind of reminded me of Tron a little bit. But I've always had an opinion about this movie that the title is so misleading. This is going to be like a Batman versus Superman situation. I totally believe that the title is to bring the people in, but we're actually not going to see Kong and Godzilla actually fight.
And
this trailer, there's things in this trailer that if you look carefully, there's something off about Godzilla, and it's not making me believe that that's actually the real Godzilla.
Conspiracy theorist on this panel, maybe. In the words of my good friend Wayne Campbell, excuse me, a baking powder. But anyway, Alan Shepard, you've been a fan of the kaiju and the mechs versus Godzilla franchises and realms for generations upon generations upon generations. Not to make you feel dated here because you're much younger than me, But Alan, I got to ask you, on behalf of myself, the people in the studio, and the people outside of the studio, what are your thoughts on this beautiful looking trailer?
I think beautiful looking is a great way to put it. I think the CGI looks fantastic. I really like this Kong design a lot. Beautiful. It looked really, really good. And every scene where, Godzilla and Kong are together, it looks good. It looks like two realistic looking monsters going at each other. And I share Brian's concern about that's what I want to see. King of the Monsters was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed it, but they cut away to the humans a little too much. Better than the 2014 Godzilla by all means, but I really want to see, I want to see the battle. I want to see these two beautiful looking monsters go at it with realistic backdrops. In fact, it's funny because I think the most CGI we saw in this trailer is in the jungle location where I know they're actually in the jungle, but they added some CGI plants in the background, and that looks like they did. So this will be interesting to see.
What do you think of the aircraft carrier scene? Wasn't that that was a lot of CGI? Unless they took a real aircraft carrier and just CGI'd the creatures on top.
Yeah, I mean, they think they actually used some kind of floating mechanism. I'm not sure if it was an actual carrier, but you're right. That did look a little bit CGI. When his hands first landed on it, that looked a little CGI. But when Kong roared into the ocean and then he came up, that looked really, really good, really good. So I was kind of impressed with that. And when he jumped away from the atomic fire, that looked great too. So I'm hoping we see continuations whole throughout of those scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the questions I had when I was watching this trailer the few times that I've seen it, this little girl that seems to have a connection to King Kong, I'm wondering, is she a descendant of one of the people who lived on Skull Island, or is she just some girl who just managed to get stranded on Skull Island, and Kong was looking at her and said, hey, a little girl, she kind of reminds me of Brie Larson, aka Captain Marvel. Hey, how are you, sweetheart? Do you want to touch my finger? It's like, I'm not really sure what the connection is between those, but my speculation is she's a descendant of one of the followers of Kong. Does anyone else think that way?
Possibly. She might have a connection to the people from Monarch that were on the island in the 70s.
Yeah, that's true. That's a possibility. Yeah. That is a possibility. Could be a descendant of one of the scientists that we remember from Kong Skull Island that did journey onto the island. Yeah.
Because when did that movie take place? During Vietnam, right?
So it was 1973. It was 73. Yep, 73 was when Kong. I just rewatched it a few weeks ago, so I did a little bit of homework, guys.
Yeah.
But yes, it was 1973. That's when that event or the events on Skull Island occurred with Monarch, with John Good. I mean, geez, you had Captain Marvel, Nick Fury, and Loki in the same movie. That's insanity, but it's awesome sauce because I enjoyed the heck out of it. So yeah, that's one of my things I'm a little wondrous about. Like, who is this little girl? What connection does she have to Kong? And by the way, how does Kong fall asleep to the point where they can put him in chains and put him in an aircraft carrier across lands? I'm wondering how that would. Did they hit him with a tranquilizer dart? I don't know.
Maybe
I'm sure they got to hit him with some kind of gas or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe they'll do a callback because I have a feeling that this film is going to do a little bit of callbacks to some of the old stuff. So maybe if you remember the original Kong versus Godzilla, they did they dropped those it was something from his island where it calms him down and helps him sleep or whatever. It was like red mist or whatever. So I have a feeling they'll do some kind of callback just for the huge Godzilla fans, to.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll have to. I'm a little leery of the whole psychic connection with monsters. I mean, the only way it's been done, in a nice, interesting way is the 90s series of Godzilla films, the Heisei series, where you had Miki Saragusa, huge nerd right here. I know all of it. She had that psychic connection with Godzilla the whole time. And it's great when it's just one. If it's more than one, King of the Monsters introduced this box that can kind of talk or call to the monsters, which I thought was interesting. It made that whole scenario a little less ridiculous.
It was a siren. It was a siren call.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a little leery of that whole psychic connection thing, but because I don't want them to cut away from the fights just to see how this little kid's doing. if she can feel Kong's pain or that kind of thing. I'm not that interested in that. I'm interested in how this battle is going to take place. I like your theory, Brian, about this might not be the same Godzilla. This could be a different one. And maybe that's why he's acting bad, because in the previous two films, if this is a direct connection, he was still sort of the good guy, the good monster.
I'm looking at the comments here, and this is my theory.
Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, yeah?
It could. I mean, we don't know. I mean, that's like I said, I'm not all that familiar with the history of some of these characters. So, Brian, when you bring up Mecha Godzilla, I'm thinking, interesting conspiracy theory. Is it going to play out in the film? We'll see.
Well, because in the original,
I feel like you have all these theories, and you're placing bets in Vegas, and I'm thinking you may not make much money this weekend. I don't know.
In the original Mecha Godzilla, it looked like Godzilla. It had the skin on and everything, and so people thought it was Godzilla attacking. And then the real Godzilla came and kind of like, even before he attacked him, he kind of looked at him like he was looking at a mirror. And then when he shot his atomic breath, you see the shiny under the skin.
Oh, interesting.
So if you look at the end of King of Monsters, there was the scientist. What was his name again, Ryan?
Well, I don't remember the character, but Charles Dance was there.
Yeah, Charles Dance. And they had the head of King Ghidorah.
That's right.
They're doing something
at the end of the film. Yep. They
so
could
either this is a Mecha Godzilla or it's a clone.
You have so many. You have a really bizarre relationship with clones. That's a scary thought right there. There's a sci-fi movie for that. But anyway, I'm sure. But no, hey man, look, if these conspiracy theories of yours play out in the final cut, I mean, Vegas may give you a big fat check that weekend. We don't know. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's an interesting theory, Brian. But yeah, my only things that I'm a little concerned or just wondering like how this is going to work is how he got tied up in how Kong specifically got put in chains. How this little girl with a little itty bitty doll has a psychic connection to King Kong, because as one of the characters says towards the end of the trailer, who bows to who? Kong bows, Kong, I think it was Kong bows to no one. I'm thinking, well, if nobody bows to anybody, this is going to be one heck of a drag out fight, and there will be blood. Oh, yes, there will be blood. And I hope there's lots of it, because I just want to see these two tear each other apart. It's a beautiful thing. And if Kyle Chandler comes in and says, if he drops the line that Ken Watanabe dropped in 2014, let them fight. Just let them fight. If he drops that line, or if he says, Godzilla, just remember, clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Yeah. Sorry, for those of you who grew up watching Friday Night Lights, if you understood that reference, bonus points.
Well, in the trailer, there is a scene.
We got it.
There is a line in the trailer where they said, "Why is Godzilla acting the way that he is?"
Kyle Chandler's like, he's hurting people. Why is he doing that?
He's like, and then I don't know the character's name, but it was the black guy with the beard. He says something's off.
Yeah. And then the two kids who are other young scientists are like, I agree, like I share that opinion. Like something isn't right, something is weird here, something is in the mix that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But either way, I mean, we're gonna be there sitting in our comfortable chairs, just smiling from ear to ear, choking down popcorn. So yeah.
Oh, for real.
Either way, it's gonna be a fun film. The look of it looks good. The fight song in the trailer was great. When Kong lands the first punch on Godzilla in the aircraft carrier was fantabulous. And then you see him with a giant saber kind of thing, and he's got the atomic breath on him. He's like, he's still moving. He's jumping and hits him with it. I'm like, this is why we enjoy films. We like stuff like this. It's gonna be a great Macho Madness Fest, brother. Yeah. But yeah,
was that Warbat in the trailer?
Who was
the creature flying?
The
that
flying
Warbat?
creature is fine. Yeah, the flying creatures. I believe so.
I didn't catch it. So. I was just enjoying too much of the two big behemoths knocking each other down. So maybe I missed a few things.
Yeah, it came towards the end of the trailer.
Yeah, it's flying around Kong. And I would like to, if they are going to introduce another kaiju, especially a mecha, I like the idea of maybe this being Mecha Godzilla, but I also like if they go the Heisei route again and bring in Mecha King Ghidorah, because that's always been one of my favorites, and only utilized in one film. And you should really see that. And if they're gonna go, all out on this one, like they did with King of the Monsters for the most part, then I would love to see a Mecha King Ghidorah, or the Mecha Godzilla reveal, in a similar fashion. That would be cool. And then the real Godzilla pops up, and then Kong and Godzilla team up, and then what happens at the end, we don't know. But
I got a question for you, Alan. I got a question for you, Alan. How would you feel if Kong gave his life to save Godzilla?
Man,
that's an interesting question. I don't know how I would feel to do about that, because they use that trope with Mothra all the time. That Mothra gives her life to give energy to him. I don't know how I'd feel about that. I think if they want to make it definitive, there will be one. There could be only one, right? Giant kaiju. Then I'd be okay, interesting. But I like the design of this Kong so much. I'd hate to see it used just in one more film, So I don't know. That's an interesting question.
This is the last American one for the time being, because the contract with Toho ends after this film. Because I guess
this film,
because Toho wants to make another Japanese Godzilla film. I think they've already announced it, and it's going to come out, I think, either next year or the following year.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I guess it's fair to say there's a lot on the line here, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. My goodness, there's a lot on the line with this film. It's a simple title, Godzilla versus Kong, but it's going to put butts in the seats, and it's definitely going to make moolah, that's for sure.
Not as much as it should.
In some way, shape, or form. I know we're living in a different environment right now with the pandemic, but I hope that this film is successful. I hope it does well, all things considering, whether it's the cast, the crew, because they worked so hard to put this baby together. And it's genetically structured to be a blockbuster, as well it should be. So we'll see how it shakes out. Now, before we go around the table here and kind of wrap our thoughts on what we hope to see at the end of the day with this movie and those kind of things, I want to go to the chat here because they have been on fire with this. Bill says that Kong is going to kill it. Let's see, who else do we have here? Rat Hole was commenting on the certainly scene what looks to be a jungle island scene with the young girl and the situation with her. Let's see, Dave conspiracy theory is that Black Widow shows up in black leather to calm him down. That's a little graphic.
I like that.
I don't know if I want to see that necessarily. Sorry, I want to keep this film as much PG-13, not go in the R-rated.
No, it's a callback to Age of Ultron, where Black Widow is holding Hulk, and
I know. It's one of the not very good MCU movies, but I do remember that scene. Hey, big fella, sun's going down. Look at my hand. I'm wearing black leather. Do you like my outfit? No, no, I don't. Jeez, you kids. But anyway, so those are some of the comments that are coming in through the chat. And to kind of wrap this up here, Alan, final thoughts on the trailer. What do you hope to see in this movie?
Final thoughts. This trailer did what it's supposed to do, especially they've been hyping it up for the last couple of weeks. It made me want to see it. No matter what happens, I definitely am going to watch this film. I'd love to see it in a theater, but we have very limited theaters that are actually open out here in Hawaii, but I'm going to try to find one and go see it for sure, because I'm a Godzilla fan till the day, all the way to the end. So I'm excited to see this. So yeah, let's bring it on. Let's get it on. Let's go. And you guys can see me around everywhere. If you're ever out in Hawaii, if you could ever come out here again, you got a free tour guide.
Definitely looking forward to once Earth reopens, everyone's able to travel and be around each other safely. I'm more than happy to go to Hawaii, visit locations of where certain films or TV series were filmed, and to have Alan Shepard as our tour guide. So bottom line is, on behalf of myself and everybody here in the studio hanging with Web Show, Web TV family, we say yes, we're down. In the words of Futurama, shut up and take my money. Just saying. But Brian from Reels and Heels, final thoughts on the trailer. What do you hope to see in this film when it's all said and done?
Well, I just hope to be entertained, and the trailer already shows I'm going to be entertained. The trailer was very reminiscent of King of Monsters. It did show a lot of action, and I have a feeling the movie is not – it's going to start like action, and it's just be like nonstop. Even the dialogue between the humans is going to have a lot of like action behind it. because you can have dialogue and still have like that action feel, especially with the music. They have a great composer doing the music for this. So, yeah. And just to throw this one more conspiracy out there, I've always wanted to see a Americanized version of Gigan.
Oh, yes. Yes, I second that.
Even if the design is as close to the 2004 Final Wars design, because that is an awesome design.
Yes, it is, sir.
Now, for those of us who may not be overly familiar with the mythology and the series of these characters, can you inform us, give us the Cliff Notes version of what the heck you were just talking about?
Go ahead, Alan.
Because I don't know what you just said. I'm a little confused here.
We're talking Grim Reaper, sickles for arms, and a chainsaw on the chest, and mandibles in the front. I mean, he can bite you, then chain you up. I give you a big hug to slice you in multiple parts. This guy is beautiful. He's a beautiful monster of destruction.
So it's kind of like Leatherface and Baraka from Mortal Kombat on steroids.
Yeah, and in the older series, he was always usually paired up with either Mechagodzilla or King Ghidorah.
Yep.
In the words of my friend Wayne, I was not aware of that. But that is, hey, you learn something new every day on these programs, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Brian, for way too many conspiracy theories that people on Facebook and all across social media are going to be playing with for the next 2 months before this film comes out. My final thoughts on this trailer, what I hope to see in the film. I just hope to see a great knockdown, drag-out fight between two of the biggest, most influential creatures in the history of cinema. If other creatures make an appearance, more power to you. I just want a good score. I want the human characters, I want them to have a decent storyline and reasons for being there other than just turning the camera over to the humans to see how they're reacting. Look, guys, there's two monsters beating the crap out of each other. What's going on? But look, all kidding aside, I like the human characters. I like the actors who are portraying these characters. I've liked them since the other three films. I'm fine with it. I think this trailer was great. I cannot wait to see this movie. Ladies and gentlemen, this film is going to open in theaters and be on HBO Max on March 26th, 2021. So in about 2 months' time, just 2 months, 8 weeks, we're going to see one of the biggest battles, one of the most anticipated films of the year, if not the decade, grace us with their presence. And on behalf of all of us here, we wish the cast and crew of Godzilla vs. Kong the best of luck when this film opens up March the 26th, 2021. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for this special presentation of HWS Web TV. But before we go, Alan Shepard, where can the good people of the interwebs find you and all the projects you have coming up, my man?
Find me all around on TMG, doing trivia battles on After Dark, usually over there, and various other places. Wherever I'm asked, wherever my opinion is needed, I will be there.
Especially when it comes to mechs versus kaiju.
That's it.
Absolutely. Brian from Reels and Heels, where can the good people in the interwebs find you and everything you have coming up on your programming?
Well, you can find us every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern right here on the HWS Web TV, our Facebook page, Reels and Heels Official, and audio podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you choose to listen.
Absolutely. And you can find me. My name is Ryan of Nerd Culture. You can find me and everything that we're doing at Nerd Culture, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at It's Nerd Culture. Make sure you check out our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, it's a new year. We have a Patreon now. Yes, we have a Patreon. So go to patreon.com/It's Nerd Culture. Select which tier is right for you. In the meantime, Godzilla vs. Kong, March 26, 2021. Get ready because it's going to be a battle and a fight for the ages, ladies and gentlemen. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay strong, stay safe, and watch movies.